And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the 4th Annual MEA Indy 500 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm SSR Mayhem, bringing you tonight's, or I should say this afternoon's live action on this glorious day as we prepare for 200 laps. And I tell you what, an anticipated year for a lot to come here at MEA, but one of the biggest events is the Indianapolis 500, hosted under the MEA name. We have about 20 drivers expected to compete here tonight. 28 had registered last night. If you were with us, it was RZM Popping who stole the show in the Fast 9 to get the overall pole sitter position, as he was a rocket in qualifying, but JDMX Culture showing that he had a lot of pace last night as they came into today's race. There's not only those two drivers, there's plenty other drivers in the field that are going to look to challenge them. The likes of LMP Amoeba, who did not get the set of qualifying time before the Fast 9 last night, decided that the tune he had set up was not going to be able to do him any justice. So he would go to the tail end of the field based off of qualifications. However, PTG Chungus, SFM Darkster, and Rewar 477, three drivers that did not sign up or had made qualifying yesterday, are now in the show as there's a few slots open, and now they'll get to punch their ticket to try to win a Indy 500 champion here at MEA. Right now, we're just waiting for the drivers to load in. We're expected within this next 10-minute gap here to hopefully get this one underway. We know that the start time was 1 p.m. Eastern here in the U.S., but we do want to make sure that the drivers are prepared for tonight's race. We want to make sure that they all understand the rules, regulations that is going to be taking effect here tonight. A little bit on to tonight's race. 70 green flag laps. So there will be no caution system opened at the beginning of this race. The drivers will have to maintain their pace, be careful, and stay out of trouble early on in this one. However, at the beginning of lap 73, the caution system will be engaged, which means the caution system will be allowed to take effect. However, it will not bring out a caution. The cars will stay green on the racetrack. And, well, hopefully these drivers can get into some sort of rhythm. We've seen in the past how these cars can aero wash each other out, which is creating, the back end of the car to kick out. But, this year it's open tuning, open setups. The only thing that wasn't, open was, setting up the car based on the build. So they have to have specific things on the car for tonight's race. On lap 196, it'll be the last time that these drivers can make a caution, or I should say a caution be called. 197, it's green till the end. The restart zone tonight is the big white line as they head onto the front stretch of the track till the beginning of the pit entrance, where the leader will have dictation of all restarts here tonight. The three wide start of this race, a tradition in the Indianapolis 500, will be how we set up here tonight. The opening 2 laps of the race will be pace laps. So the drivers will go around single file, and then they will eventually triple up as they go into the second pace lap going into the green. Pit road is automatically closed for the drivers when a caution is called. So any of those drivers that go down the pit road after the caution is out will be given a drive-through penalty on the following restart. And just for everybody's notes, we do not have any defending champion, and we do not have any previous champion in the Indianapolis 500 here at MEA. So today is a new day and a new champion to be crowned in this event. So all these drivers are going to be going for gold, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of mayhem out on the racetrack. Stay tuned as we get prepared for 200 laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. So right now the drivers in their respective parties are currently getting the rundown for today's race. I'm listening to the communications team right now, and they are letting the drivers know, hey, when we triple up, let's try to take this easy, and we'll get going for this race. We've got about another few minutes here. We'll be going green. Again, 4th annual MEA Indy 500, an event every year. If you're a regular competitor in the MEA organization, this is an event you want to win, especially if you're an IndyCar fan. This is one of the biggest races, if not the biggest race that they do in real life, and this is the closest thing for some drivers in the esports world and video game world that get to do that opportunity. So it's important for some of these drivers, as others are just doing it for fun. So it's going to be a very interesting race for sure tonight, but I tell you what, it's going to be a wild one, especially at the start. That 3 wide, it gets a little bit rattly, but once they get single file off of the first lap, they should be able to get in some sort of rhythm. So pay attention as they get ready to go green here at Indianapolis. So it looks like we got 17 drivers here tonight. Good to see Popping, who wasn't sure if he was going to make the race here tonight, your pole sitter. Popping going for his first MEA Indy 500, setting not only the pole, but this is his first race Indy 500, and getting the pole position, that's tough to do, especially in the fast night where you have 1 lap to make it count. He made it count last night, but we saw Jasny and Bobberts, who had problems early in that qualifying run, and I don't see Jasny here tonight. So Jasny not ringing the, not answering the call. And if you're just tuning in, this is the 4th annual MEA Indy 500. We're about to go green here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 200 laps of mayhem and carnage, but hopefully we'll see some really good racing here tonight. So we got a lot of newcomers and a lot of returning drivers, and we will have a new champion in this 500 as the defending champion from last year, TNR Bryant, not with us this year, and also Coco Gamer 11 and formerly known as F1 Ben, also not with us here tonight. So 3 past champions not going for their second, which opens the door for everybody else. So once we get word here, we will be going green as the Indy 500 here at MEA was about to begin. All right, so we're gonna get the lobby set up now. We'll get the grid order going here as they finish up their final stuff and things. We're gonna get these drivers on track. And we're gonna get the pace car out of the way. There will be no pace car, just so everyone's aware. So RZM popping, your pole sitter will start on that inside front row alongside JDMX Culture, and the outside of him is RZX Nix, first timer as well. All three of these guys at the front row is their first time here at MEA competing in the Indy 500. Frazier as well going to be in that second row alongside MVP and Riddle U. In the third row, it's Jason. He's not with us, and so is Cam. So it's going to be ESV Bobberts who's going to be the first driver of that third lane. And alongside Bobberts is going to be Fan, who I'm trying to find. There he is right there. And then on the outside of Fan will be Dino Prime, first timer as well. In the next row, it's going to be Bo Gray on the inside. In the middle, it's going to be King Cameron. To his outside will be RZX Ultra, who also hasn't rang the bell, so that's going to be RZX JJ Reds, who's going to be on the outside of that row. It would have been Sparky Motors. Sparky Motors isn't here tonight, so LMP Amoeba will take the inside row. And to the middle of him will be TMS Amaze, and the outside, PTG Chungus. In the last row, it's going to be SFM Darkser alongside Rewar 477. So we got our starting lineups here tonight. The drivers ready to go. Stay tuned for the beginning of the MEA Indy 500 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we are waiting for one driver who we're going to give a chance. That's going to be RZX Ultra. So we'll give Ultra his spot. It's kind of one of those things. We're starting a little bit later than we wanted to, but it be that way sometimes. Waiting for, and there is RZX Ultra, who's making his debut in the MEA Indy 500 as well. He is actually behind King Cameron, so that bumps JJ Reds to the inside of that row with LMP Amoeba to the outside as we are ready to go, and the driver should be readied up. All right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what you've all been waiting for here at MEA, the MEA Indy 500 about to begin. Let's get the Corvette out of the way, as there will be no pace car here tonight. We'll get ready up here. We're waiting for RZX Ultra to get his car loaded up, getting it off the truck. And we need to go green. This is that thing we talk about at MEA, being prepared for race day. And, well, Ultra's not that prepared, it looks like. All right, there we go. We need Ultra to ready up, and we'll be good to go. All right, so let's get this lobby loaded up. No restarts once the race goes green. So the only time for a restart is under the pace laps at the beginning of this race. The drivers will get 3 wide situated off of turn 2 on this initial start. Then they will go around again at the end of the second pace lap is when they will go green. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the 18 drivers who are going to tackle tonight's Indianapolis 500 here at MEA. Let's talk about the starting lineups here tonight. Once again, it's going to be RZM Popping, the pole sitter, the first time here in the MEA Indy 500, making his debut alongside him with JDMX Culture and RZX Nix. In the second row, it's going to be Fraser FGR alongside RZX MVP, and then Riddle U to the outside of him. Following them, it's going to be ESV Bobberts to the inside middle fan, and to the outside of him, first timer in MEA, Dino Prime, as they'll fill out that next row. Behind them, it's going to be Bo Gray, King Cameron, and RZX Ultra in, I believe that is the 4th row. In the next row, it's going to be RZX JJ Reds. To the inside, to the middle is LMP Amoeba, and to the outside of him will be TMS Amazed. And into the final row, it's going to be SFM Darkster alongside Rewar 477. That's the 18 card field here tonight as they get tripled up 3 by 3 by 3 to start the Indianapolis 500. For those tuning in tonight, we welcome you for the 4th annual MEA Indy 500 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm SSR Mayhem, bringing you the live action here tonight, or I should say again today. We're so used to hosting events at night, sometimes you forget the time of day. What a scene it is here tonight as the drivers are coming onto the front stretch now for you fans that are tuning in. So here they come down the back straightaway. Once again, a great scene here at Indianapolis. The 4th annual MEA Indy 500 about to begin. Only 2 turns to go. The nerves are setting in, but it's time to go. It's time to get into that rhythm for these drivers. Time to get away the nerves. Time to take away everything you've learned from practice, qualifying. All that's out the window now. You're here. You've made the show. It's time to go green flag racing here at Indianapolis as RZM Popping, JDMX Culture, and RZX Nix on the front row. And we are green here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as they get ready to go across the line. And there they go. And RZM Popping with the early lead over JDMX Culture. As RZX Nix now to the outside with RLU to the inside of him, not able to make the pass happen, and RZM Popping is off to the races. And everybody has gone pretty good at the start of this one as we go to the back of the pack. King Karen making big moves with RZX. Somebody in the purple car is losing a lot of speed down the front straightaway. They're going 2 by 2. 3 wide off of turn number 1. Now they're hanging side by side off the edge. And that's RZX JJ Reds battling right now as he gets to the inside of SFM Darkster and LMP Amoeba. Amoeba now trying to fend off SFM Darkster to the outside. Darkster has to give way. It's Ultra to the inside of Darkster heading into 3 and 4. Meanwhile, it's PTG Chungus right behind them battling in RZX. Ultra loses control of the car off of 3. PTG Chungus now gets by Ultra, but Ultra will fade back to the 18th spot with Reward going by. It's now Darkster to the inside of Chungus. They're going door to door, going into 1. Darkster to the inside line with Chungus to the outside. Hanging door to door, Darkster prevails. Meanwhile, in the front of them, it's JJ Reds and LMP Amoeba going door to door. We got a 5-car panel here at the mid-pack. Down to the inside, now we got a 4-car train. I don't know who that is to the outside. It's TMS Amaze. Amaze who started at the tail of the field, already making way to the top 10. King Cameron leading the charge of this group with fans to the inside of Amaze. Amaze caught to the outside now as JJ Reds holds the inside line, but Amaze with a great run off of 4. He's gonna hang on to that spot. Meanwhile, LMP Amoeba hanging back behind them, trying to make way. He's waiting for a mistake for the drivers at the front. However, they're not doing that just yet. King Cameron still maintaining the front. It's TMS Amaze to the inside. He's going to go for position over Fan. Amaze going for more. King Cameron in trouble. King Cameron trying to throw a block. It was a little bit of a late block that threw TMS Amaze to the outside. 3 wide off of 3 as they get back in line going into 4. King Cameron trying to hang on. Currently running in the 9th spot. And they're finally settling down as they head into turns 1 and 2, but that's not going to give up just yet. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, it's RZX Nix now at the 2nd spot. But look at this, we got a 5-car battle for the race lead. It's Culture and MVP to the inside. Popping has lost the lead to Culture. Popping hits the outside wall going into 3. JDMX Culture now taking over the race lead with RZX MVP to the inside taking over 2nd. Nix now hits the outside wall coming off of 4, but it's Popping and Frazier 3 wide going into 1. Popping will take over the 3rd spot from Nix. Frazier will have to settle for 5th. Getting back single file, they're going to bring a 3-car train with them. That's ESV Bobbers and Dino Prime following with Bo Gray in that 7th spot. Or I'm sorry, 8th spot. And Bo Gray, his first time here in the MEA Indy 500, the same with Dino Prime. We've seen Gray in previous series, but we've never seen Prime driving that Dr. Pepper machine. Frazier to the inside, looking for more. Not able to get the job done, however. It's RZX Nix. They're forcing 3 wide battles all over the racetrack. Popping to the outside of Culture. As they go into 1. Oh, but Nix clips the back end of Culture. Culture hits the wall. Culture spinning between turns 1 and 2. And that is a tough break by JDMX Culture. It looks like the car just got loose from the rear end as Nix got to his bumper. That brings Frazier now to the 2nd spot. MVP 3rd, 4th, Popping, Bobberts 5th. Meanwhile, Culture has lost all his momentum. He'll fall way back into the 16th spot. He's got a lot of catching up to do. Tough break for the JDM driver. Back at the front, it's Frazier now challenging for the race lead over RZX Nix in turns 1 and 2. Nix holding out to the inside, heading into 2. Frazier looking for something more. Meanwhile, it's MVP trying to make way to get back to the front. Popping and Bobberts, however, running in that 4th and 5th spot. We've seen this story before. Bo Gray doing a great job behind Bobberts right here, running in that 6th spot. Dino Prime, after that incident with Nix and Culture, has set him back into that 7th spot. But TMS Amaze, ladies and gentlemen, he is making way. I don't know if anybody was seeing this coming. He started at the tail end of the field, about 16th, 17th back. He's already inside the top 10, up in the 8th spot and looking for more. Behind them, it's RZX JJ Reds in the 9th spot, leading a good field of cars right now. FSM Darkster, LMP Amoeba, and PTG Chungus. Darkster looks to the inside. They're going side by side into 3 now. Darkster looking for more. Looking to take over the spot from JJ Rez. They go door to door into 3. LMP Amoeba trying to follow. Amoeba gets to the inside and looking for more. He gets to the inside and JJ getting in the 4. And Darkster coming off the corner. He was a little bit too tight. He almost hit the outside wall, but will hang on to that spot. JJ not looking to advance. Meanwhile, it's LMP Amoeba trying to find some headway with Chungus behind him. JJ gets to the outside almost, coming off of turn 1. SFM Darkster still leading the charge after taking over the 9th place spot. Darkster also, who started at the tail end of the field inside the top 10. And a lot of action here early on in Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we see the field here on the race map starting to spread out. Some of the drivers having issues early on. But the first 70 laps of this race are cautionless for those that are just tuning in and wondering, why isn't there a caution? Well, we want the drivers to get into a rhythm, and we also want the drivers to be able to have a little bit of a race. We know that this race can be very wreck-festy, but we don't want that to be the entirety of the race. So we want these drivers to have an opportunity to get into a rhythm and start spreading out. Some hearts will be broken, but that's just part of the game as we got a 4-car train still here at the mid-pack. JJ Reds behind Darkster. It's LMP Amoeba in front of Chungus. Chungus now trying to make some headway on Amoeba, not trying to make unnecessary advances. Oh, but JJ's got a good run off of 4. JJ trying to advance here, but it doesn't look like he's going to get the job done. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, it's Frazier FGR, your new race leader, trying to hang on, but he'll lose the race lead back from RZX Nix, and RZX MVP moves to the 2nd spot. RZM Popping and ESV Bobbers 4th and 5th, trying to make a charge here with Bo Gray behind them. Race battles all over the track right now, ladies and gentlemen, here in the MEA Indy 500, as Nix hits the outside wall on 3, but it looks like MVP made a mistake as well. Frazier now getting a little bit of a run on MVP as they head on to the front straight here. 12 laps down, 13 laps down, I should say. We got a 5-car battle at the front of the pack. Frazier looking to the inside. Looking for more. MVP to the outside. He'll lose a spot to Frazier. Meanwhile, Bobbers advances to the 4th spot past Popping. Actually, where did Popping go? Are they going too fast that I can't see them? No, that's exactly what it is. Popping's right there in the 4th spot. I do apologize. And it looks like lap traffic is starting to take effect. There's Riddle U in the 18th spot, going a lap down in this one. So Riddle U, the first car to go a lap down here in the Indy 500. Nix, Frazier, and Popping, your top 3 with Bobbers. And that is Bo Gray in the 5th spot. Bobbers looks to the inside of Popping now, trying to get an extra spot away. Meanwhile, Frazier gets to the inside of Nix. They collect off of turn 4. New race leader. It's Bo Gray. Big accident off of turn 4. No caution. The green stays out. It's RZM Popping who gets through as well. Dino Prime, your new top 3 now. And ESV Bobbert's involved in that accident. MVP as well. And a lot of drivers getting by this accident as JJ Reds as well goes by. Big break for some of these drivers at the back. Wow. Big accident off of 4 under the cautionless laps. Again, when lap 73 is crossed, the caution system will open up. So we have a long way to go till we get there. Fan dropping back to the 18th spot now. I wonder, yeah, pit stops are being made, it looks like. And we have a car sitting. Are they in pit road? Oh no, he's just waiting for the cars to get away. Oh my gosh. And Fan trying to get the car back on the racetrack and moving. Not sure what. Slowly get the tires going. There you go. So Fan trying to get back on the racetrack here after having an incident. But RZM Popping, your new race leader. Popping hits the outside of wall in turn 1. And Riddle U spinning around. Dino Prime takes the lead. Wow. And RZM Popping was just trying to get around Fan, who, I don't know if Fan moved up the track. We moved off him when that happened, and Popping came so fast that we missed his entry into 1. He'll fall back to the 3rd spot. That gives new race leader Dino Prime an opportunity to get away, and Bo Gray still hanging strong out there in that second spot. MVP currently 4th, 5th Bobbert, 6th King Cameron, LMP Amoeba 7th, 8th PTG Chungus, 9th RZX JJ Reds, JDMX Culture currently 10th, SFM Darkser in 11th. So Darkser, out of that battle he was with JJ Reds, possibly got mixed up with some bad apples there, as Dino Prime will now put RZX Nix a lap down, who was leading earlier in this race, and Nix clips almost the back end of Dino Prime. Currently 4 cars are lapped down in this race. Dino Prime, the race leader, with RZX Nix, a lap down car between him. Bo Gray trying to get a run here, and he will. Bo Gray now caught up to Dino Prime. And Dino Prime gonna go into pit road. New race leader, RZM popping, as Dino Prime and Bo Gray goes into pit road. Let's pull up the damage meter here, because it's gonna be the fuel that takes effect before the tires. So popping will retake the race lead. 20 laps down here in the 500. RZX Nix trying to stay on the lead lap right now. He's got Nix in front of Popping here. And Nix and Popping going down into pit road, as it looks like I think everyone's starting to pit here this time. And yep, the pit road is opening up. And we see a lot of cars coming down the pit road. There's some lap cars, some not lap cars. So everybody is in pit road, trying to get things fixed up. As Popping will retake, I believe he'll be in the race lead here. Yep, he will, as they come out of the pits. And that's kind of not what Nix wants. I don't think Popping wants that either. And back on the racetrack they go, as cars still going down into pit road. I believe that Darkser in the pits there. No, I'm wrong. Well, Darkser is in pit road, so there's a couple cars in pit road. And we got a battle for the race lead once again. It's RZM Popping, Bo Gray to the outside of him in turns 4. Now Dino Prime right there in the mix as well. And it looks like they're still side by side. And they are, and Bo Gray trying to get a run on the outside with Dino Prime pushing. And a big pass by Bo Gray to the outside for the race lead off of 1. Wow, what a great pass by Bo Gray. Dino Prime trying to do the same thing, just can't get the job done right there. RZM Popping, the pole sitter, still up front battling, but Bo Gray is starting to show a lot of strength here tonight. And Dino Prime still hanging strong behind RZM Popping, staying in that draft. I don't want to get off this battle for the race lead because it looks like it's starting to heat up here again. First, second, and third going at it. Bo Gray, currently your race leader. Dino Prime trying to pounce on RZM Popping, who was able to cut him off to not advance. RZX Nix still a lap down, but Nick's just trying to hang tight, just to make sure he doesn't go any further down than he has to be. RZM Popping looking to advance positions here. Culture, who was in that earlier accident, already back into the top 10. Trying to rebound from the accident. The race lead getting good. Bo Gray popping and Dino Prime haven't really given an inch to each other, but they are doing a really good job not getting too close to each other's bumper and turns, which has kind of been the reason why some of these cars have wiped out. Bo Gray knows he's got a long way to go, but he's showing that he can be up front here having pace. And Dino Prime, same thing. I mean, these guys, Dino Prime was kind of the unknown. We know how Bo Gray races in other race series, but gosh, is he showing some strength here tonight, staying in the draft, making good decisions. That pass for the race lead off of one, that was great. Was not expecting it. Popping might have lifted just a little bit to, prevent an accident, but these guys have been doing a really good job for the most part, as these guys look like they're settling in. So let's go further back for a moment. Check on Bobberts here, who's right behind MVP. These two slowly trying to get into the fight right now. Currently running 4th and 5th. Bobberts knows that this is a long race. He's been in this race 3 times already. This is his 4th entry in the history of the MEA Indy 500. Bobberts knows not to take unnecessary risks early on. And they're probably just working together right now, trying to get that draft going so that they can catch those guys. Bobberts, however, gets to the inside almost right there. Almost cuts the nose off from MVP. Bobberts looks like he's just settling behind. Let's go through the field a little bit here, guys, while we check him out. That's King Cameron right there in the 6th spot. Fraser FGR, who was up front battling for the lead earlier, got involved in a little bit of a accident he didn't want to be in, running 7. LMP Amoeba hated qualifying yesterday, despised what he ran, was not happy with the car. Started at the tail of the field today, up in the top 10 right now, currently running 8th. RZX JJ Reds wasn't happy at all with his qualifying yesterday, but running in the top 10 right now, doing a good job, staying out of trouble, it seems, for the most part, in that 9th spot with PTG Chungus, late entry driver, currently running 10th. JDMX Culture, who was the 2nd fastest in the Fast 9, fastest overall in his group qualifying, got involved in that early incident, currently in the 11th spot. Trying to bound, and then you got SFM Darkser, first time entry here in the MEA Indy 500, currently running 12th, started back about 17th, 18th, doing a really good job right now, trying to figure out the car, and hopefully later in this race we'll have an opportunity to bounce back and fight for hopefully the win, as many of these other drivers in the back are hoping once the caution system opens up that they can have an opportunity to try to have a little bit better luck when the next time around. Right now we're in the first stint of the race as we ride with Rewar 477. Behind him, Team Maze. Maze was making headway, but he just hasn't moved a whole lot since probably lap 25. He's fallen back to the 14th spot. He's right in front of RZX Ultra. Ultra looks to the inside. Ultra trying to get by, just can't get the job done. Then it's RZX Nix behind them, who was leading this race. He's currently up front with these guys as Bo Gray, RZ, and Popping are currently in the mix. He's trying to be the first car a lap down right now. Dino Prime just kind of gives it to him with MVP and Bobberts behind him. And then Riddle U currently running in that 17th spot. He was the first car a lap down in this race, but he found a way to get by Fan, who is another lap extra down. Fan had issues re-entering the racetrack, and Riddle U's lost his back wing. And then there's Fan. Oh, Fan. Fan's having all sorts of problems in turns 3 and 4 there. Got loose again. Hasn't been Fan's race so far, but a lot of racing still to go. Cautions can help him out, and he's going to obviously want to be able to have redemption if he can get the opportunity later in this race. As we go back to the race lead, 3-car battle for the race lead. Dino Prime gets back by RZX Nix as he gets back in line with his 2 colleagues up the front. Looks like they hit a wing right there from Bo Gray. Possibly Riddle U's wing. Dino Prime. Oh, should say RZX MVP, and Bobbers get by. Bo Gray is all alone. What a big, big issue there for RZ and Popping and Dino Prime. Both of those drivers, you know, it was hard racing there. I could tell they didn't mean to connect. It looked like Popping got to the inside of Dino, who was trying to make a pass to the outside. You see both these drivers getting back up to speed now. And you know, they're in the same party together, so you know they're talking right now. But that's a big blow for those two drivers, but a big benefit to MVP and ESV Bobberts, as they are still in the draft and they're starting to track down Bo Gray, who has been leading a lot of this race. I believe he's led the last like 12, 15 laps as he comes off of turn 4 right there. So let's check the race map right now, see what else is going on in track, because Bobberts hasn't really tried to do any advancing on him. Popping and Dino Primer together, you know they're going to settle in and try to get, you know, some momentum. So yeah, right now this is the battle on the track for the race lead as we stay on MVP here. And look at the power they got coming off of 2. They got a huge run on Gray. And Gray, I don't know if Gray intentionally slowed down so that they didn't get bigger runs, because they caught up to him rather quickly. You got to think that Bo Gray was thinking about that one and didn't want to give them that opportunity. So he almost did. If that was him slowing down, he almost gave them that opportunity. But we can only imagine if the draft was that much more efficient for Bobberts and MVP, and we're back to a 3-car battle for the race lead. MVP and Bobberts. These two drivers have been working together for the last dozen laps. MVP got a little bit loose in 3 and 4. And, you know, I think these guys are going to do the same thing that Popping and Dino Prime are doing. You know, just hang in there, wait for the mistake to happen. Don't take unnecessary risks. Don't take unnecessary chances. Settle the car down, and let's get this thing to the end. There's no reason to take, you know, shots that aren't worth taking, but you see them getting a little bit repositioned there. Oh, MVP got really wide in 3. Bobberts might have just let him get that back as Bo Gray starting to drive off into the sunset again for the moment. And how about this, ladies and gentlemen? King Cameron in 4th place right now. Hanging strong. It's been consistent. And a quiet one for LMP Amoeba. And out of all the drivers that were at the tail of the field, Amoeba's had the biggest progression of them. And, you know, Amoeba had to start at the back. And he's had no problems getting to the front. He started about 15th, 16th. He's up to the top 5 right now, currently running 5th overall. Do not count out LMP Amoeba. There's a lot of racing left, and he is currently one of the biggest movers heading forward right now on the racetrack. So Amoeba doing a really great job. And we got a new race leader. That's RZX USA MVP to the race lead. I'm not sure what happened to Bo Gray. Let's take a look here. Oh, he's in pit road, as so is RZX Nix. So the race leader, Bo Gray, in pit road, or was the race leader. That gave up the lead to MVP, who's now in front and taking charge of this one here at Indianapolis. At ESV, Bobberts currently running 2nd. These two guys, I've been telling you, they've been working together all race so far, not making mistakes, and just trying to stay out of trouble. You know, I think they did earlier in the race, but didn't affect them as much as some of these other drivers have. But right now, they're doing a fantastic job staying in the draft, making it work, taking the benefit of the speed, and just kind of distancing themselves from the field right now. And this is a great opportunity for them to do that, as Bo Gray went down the pit road to get some fuel and tires for his car. So let's find out, are they pitting this time? And they will. They will be entering pit road as Bo Gray back on the racetrack. He's a lap earlier, and the fastest time of the race is set by RZX USA MVP, as they are touching each other in the pits there. I'm not that's not going to affect them coming out, but look at everybody coming down to pit road right now. You got King Cameron, LMP Amoeba, I can't see the names in the background, but I'm sure they're all coming in. I mean, this is the pit window right now. And did Bobberts get the race lead through the pits? Bobberts showing to be the first car in the front. Let's find out as they come out of pit road. And he does. No, he does not. Here comes Bo Gray. Bo Gray, did he get enough speed to catch up to these guys? Let's find out right here. He pitted the lap before, but those guys were in the draft. And he's not going to catch him. New race leader officially, RZX USA MVP. And Bo Gray will fall back to the third spot. Again, a lot of racing still to go. We're about to go 42 laps into this one at Indianapolis. And for a 200-lap race, you got to make every lap worth your while. Don't take big chances. Don't take unnecessary risks. And that's what you're seeing right now between MVP and Bobberts. Let's go back and check on Popping and Dino Prime, as they were together when they were getting back up to speed after their wreck, and they're still back at it once again. They're going back to work in the 10th and 11th spot right now, and you got to think these two guys are working together. They're doing a really good job up at the front before their accident, so I would expect them to continue to work together here. In front of them is JDMX Culture, who is trying to rebound from his accident earlier. And actually, Culture has been doing a really good job rebounding from that and inside the top 10. And, it's easy to get into your head. It's easy to let the mental games take place and frustrate you. But you got to remember, there's a lot of racing still to go. You got to put yourself in a good headspace. And if you can do that, you can rebound yourself back into it. But if you don't, you tend to take unnecessary actions, and they usually become detrimental and affects your race even more. So good job by JDMX Culture here, rebounding from an early incident. And right now, Dino Prime looking to the inside of RZM Popping, but it looks like he let Popping back in front of him. And I think they're just working the draft right now to try to catch back up to these guys at the front. We still got about... we got about 27 laps to go until the caution system is allowed to take effect. But again, ladies and gentlemen, when the caution system comes on, that does not bring an automatic caution out. It just means cautions are back or are involved in this race, so they'll be staying green at that point still. But right now, everyone's just trying to get into that rhythm like we talked about earlier in the race. And hopefully this one will kind of draw out a lot longer before we see our first caution. Nobody really wants it to happen, but if you are the drivers that were involved in an accident and your lap's down, you probably are the drivers that want to see the caution come out. And here we go, a race battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th. RZM Popping now breaking away from Fan, who's a few laps down in this one. Dino Prime as well, trying to get to the inside of Fan. And Culture fending off his rival from qualifying yesterday. These two guys were the fastest in qualifying, Culture and Popping. Both these guys respectfully engaged one another yesterday after the Fast 9. Both of these drivers were involved in an accident. But here they are into the top 10, and they got major speed as PTG Chungus now showing into the picture. Dino Prime having a hard time getting by the lap car of Fan. It looks like everybody's back on the lead lap. And Chungus to the inside. Culture's got a big run off of 4. A battle for the 8th spot. He's got Popping pushing. Prime to the inside of Fan. Culture still door to door. Culture with an outside pass heading into 1 and 2. And an accident in 2! Chungus and Dino Prime get mixed up in some messes here. And I believe that was Fan as well, the lap down car, who was also involved in that accident. That's the second accident for Dino Prime here tonight. And here comes FSM Darkster now to try to pounce on an opportunity. Darkster hasn't seen a lot of action for probably the last 30 laps in this one, and he's got a guy that he's ready to take a position from, and there he goes. SFM Darkster gets to the inside of Dino Prime. And with that, move, he will take over the 11th place spot. Unfortunate for Dino. Dino's been doing such a good job today. Just got mixed up with the wrong set of cars there, and you know, those things happen. Again, we're in a cautionless period, ladies and gentlemen, so no cautions can be called at this time. So the drivers, they gotta fight. They gotta make the right decisions. They can't get overexcited. And what a great job by Popping and Culture. Popping able to get by Culture throughout that mess. He takes over the 8th spot. Culture stays in 9th. But these are the two fastest cars from qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. And if anybody can get to the front after some issues, it's going to be these guys right now, especially if they work together in that draft. Let's hop back to the race lead with RZX USA MVP leading the way over ESV Bobberts. These two guys have been pulling away from Bo Gray. I believe they just got by Riddle U right there. So Riddle U goes down another lap in this one. Bo Gray in the 3rd spot. Hasn't lost a lot of ground on these guys, but he has nobody to help him right now. He's got nobody to draft with, nobody to get some extra speed from. So if I'm Bo Gray, I'm just doing the best I can to make every lap perfect. Because that's what you got to do. When you got two cars that are hooked up and you're by yourself, you know that they have the advantage on speed. But what they don't have is the opportunity to make, you know, big mistakes turn out to be, you know, bad outcomes. And if they make any mistake at the front, Bo Gray's going to be able to take over and kind of get back to the front and possibly take the lead over from them, which we've seen time and time again so far in this race. Riddle U is just kind of out there right now praying for a caution when the caution system opens up. I know if somebody wants to see the caution come out, it'll probably be Fan right now. He's about 3 laps down in this race. Was very excited coming into this one, making the show, but he barely missed out on the Fast 9. And how about JJ Reds staying out of trouble as well? JJ Reds currently running in that 7th place spot, guys. You know, JJ didn't have the qualifying he was hoping to have, but he's kept himself really clean here through the first 40-something, 50-something laps, and you know, that's the challenge. I mean, you got to make every lap count. You got to make every lap, you know, worth competing. I mean, look at this battle. I mean, we got another battle in front of him. It's LMP Amoeba, Frazier, and that's King Cameron, 4th, 5th, and 6th. We got a 3-car battle right now. If these cars want to get to the front, they're going to have to work together in the draft. I don't know if they will, but we know that a couple of cars are hooked up and they're working together right now. And these guys are right behind Bo Gray, who isn't a lone car, but they're so much farther behind. I mean, let's take a look here. I mean, here's these three right here heading into turn 3, and there's Bo Gray off of turn 4, the bottom left corner of your screen. There's the race map. And then in front of Bo Gray, that little 1 dot is RZX USA MVP, and actually, they're getting into traffic right now. Let's take a look at this and see how they handle the traffic. And it looks like they're about to flip to Nix again. Nix is already a lap down in this race. It's going to put him 2 laps down if MVP gets to him. Or I'm sorry, that's not Nix, that's Ultra. So Ultra would be the first car on the lead lap. He's got Rewar 477 in front of him. These two drivers trying to not go a lap down. They're going to do everything they can not to. But look at the run by MVP. Bobberts and MVP really hooking up nicely here. MVP looking to try to get around Ultra. Ultra trying to hang on to his spot. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. MVP and Bobberts got to run off of 2. They go down the back straightaway. Ultra throws himself down to the inside. So does Rewar. The 2 lead cars now to the outside. They get by the first lap car. They're going for 2 now as they head into 3. Bobberts just clears to the outside. But look at Bobberts trying to go to the inside for the lead. Bobberts not being able to get the job done. Rewar gets loose off of turn 4. And he's going to go a lap down. Bobberts pushing MVP past the lap down driver. And great work by the 2 drivers at the front getting past the lap traffic. That it was almost a scary situation, but they were able to manage themselves well. And they stayed out of trouble. Rewar and Ultra battling back there for, I believe that's 13th, 14th right now, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, 13th, 14th right now. And it looks like Ultra got by Reborn for the moment, but it looked like he got loose. Further back, let's hop back on with not MVP. We're going to hop on with Amoeba. Still leading over King Cameron here in the 4th and 5th spot. Looks like JJ Reds. Actually, we lost a car here. That was I don't know who was sitting there. It was Frazier, ladies. No, Frazier with the problem, and Frazier's fallen all the way back to 16th, and I'm pretty sure that would have probably put him a lap down. Not 100% sure. But Amoeba and Cameron still with one another. I wonder if Frazier went for a pass, because it seemed like out of the 3 cars, Frazier was the one that was trying to make some sort of move, and nothing was happening. And I mean, you know, we talked about it. I mean, I don't know if that's what had happened, but that's what it looked like when we were sitting on them previously. But he might have just made a little mistake or got a nudge from one of the other drivers. And Amoeba gets caught to the outside. King Cameron trying to make something happen there. I don't think King Cameron's going to try to pass Amoeba. I mean, Amoeba's showing that he's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. And if you don't believe it, he started at the tail of the field, and he's in the top 5. And I mean, what a story would this be if Amoeba can get the job done here today? Had a rough qualifying, wasn't happy with the car, started at the tail of the field pretty much, and is now up front right now in the top 3. You know what else I noticed? Bo Gray has fallen off the face of the earth too. And I think he's in pit road right now. Or was in pit road. Yeah, he's in pit road right now. So Bo Gray coming back out of the pits alongside with some other cars. So pit stops are starting to take effect here. And look at the difference between Bo Gray and these guys. I mean, these guys have been in the draft, and they have probably an extra lap on them. And they're trying to, oh man, they are going to try to lap Bo Gray here. Bobberts to the outside, but look at that. He's trying to get the draft. MVP doing a smart move there, and we'll get by Bo Gray to put him a lap down. And Bobberts losing about 3.5 car lengths right there from MVP. And I believe they'll be pitting this time. Yes, they will. So here comes the pit stop by these drivers. Bo Gray will get his lap back, and green flag stops for the 3rd time. Maybe the 4th time. I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd time, though, is taking effect here. And, wow, it's been a good race so far here at Indianapolis. And they're coming out of pit road now. MVP still your race leader. Bobberts coming out with him. Uh-oh. Did we lose a driver? No, we might have lost somebody. Let's find out. RZX Nick slagged out of the race. Tough break. RZX Nick has lagged out, and he was one of the best cars in the field today, and tough break for him. So that brings us down to 17 cars on the track. You see Riddle U coming out of the pits now as he goes down another lap in this one. That puts him 2 laps down in this race. TMS Amaze at the tail end of this lead pack. 12 cars still on the lead lap here at Indianapolis. Dino Prime, the first car. Let's take a look at how far Dino Prime is from this. I mean, they're on the same straight together, and he's right behind SFM Darkster. And they've been probably doing this for the majority of the last 10 laps. I mean, Prime had that incident not long ago. Darkster was able to make the pass. And Dino Prime's really smart. We've watched the way that he's raced throughout this race. He hasn't taken, like we said, unnecessary risks, and he's been pretty much working with any driver that's willing to work with him. So I think right now he's just trying to stay in the draft with Darkster. And I think Darkster is going to give that spot up. Maybe I'm wrong. Dino lays off. We'll get back in line, heading into turn 1. And they know what's coming. They know the leaders are on their way. Bo Gray still sits in the 3rd spot behind Bobberts and MVP as they're in the lap traffic right now. You saw Rewar and Ultra throwing smoke. Oh my gosh, and a big miss by Bo Gray right there. Great driving by Bo Gray to avoid the accident. Great save by Ultra and Rewar for not making it worse than what it could have been. So good driving by those 2 drivers and a great drive by Bo Gray to avoid that accident. LMP Amoeba, however, not too far from Bo Gray. And King Cameron hanging strong. They're in the 5th spot. Handful of laps left to go until the caution system is open. And Bobbert's your new race leader. I just now realized that. So MVP made a slight mistake somewhere and has given up the lead for the first time today for ESV Bobberts. And the thing for Bobberts is, you know, he wants to win this one really bad. He's already won the Daytona 500. And I know last year he really wanted to win this one. Right now, he's in the best position you can be in. Let's take a look at the field. And Culture and Popping still together, coming off of turn 4 right there. If you guys look at the bottom left corner of your screen on the map. Dino Prime still behind Darkser. TMS Amaze. So 17 cars still on the racetrack. Let's go a lap around with Bobberts here. Check the bottom right corner of your screen at the fuel percentage. See how much fuel he uses per lap. He started at 65 when we hit the line. It immediately dropped to 64. TMS Mace has done a pretty good job hanging with these leaders. I mean, he knows he's the first car lap down. If he can stay with them, stay in their draft, keep that speed, he can get up there when they get to Dino Prime and SFM Darkser. So it's about 5% a lap, ladies and gentlemen, that these cars use fuel. So about 5%. So these tires are not going to be a factor at all today. It's all fuel, all fuel. Just got word that Dino went around. Dino Prime. Dino Prime apparently had an issue with the Darkster, but it looks like it wasn't too bad. Caution system will be open this next lap. So here they come around turn 4, and that's it for the caution, the split green flag cycle, as cautions are opened back up, and now the race might get a little interesting. So the drivers were just let known that the system is opened up as we stay green. Bobbert still the race leader here at Indianapolis with RZX USA MVP. Every time I want to say USA, I think of, I don't know why I want to say culture. They don't link up. But it is what it is. So let's go through the field again. And Bo Gray behind these guys. As we were just on with the race leaders, still running in that third spot all by himself. LMP Amoeba and King Cameron 4th and 5th. They're still on the late charge, and it looks like they're closing the gap on Bo Gray. Oh, no, they're not. Not yet, at least. Then it's RZX JJ Reds in the 6th position right now. Pretty much by himself. Has Fraser FGR right behind him in the 7th spot. Fraser just trying to get back to the front. He hasn't seen the front for quite a while. Then it's JDM X Culture behind RZM Popping 8th and 9th. These guys have been working together for quite a bit now in this race. PTG Chungus currently running in that 10th spot by himself, but he's starting to get tracked down by SFM Darkster and Dino Prime, who are late charge. Oh my gosh, Darkster caught the grass. He's going to lose momentum, and Dino Prime will take over that spot. And that's the thing. When you got a car behind you, it takes away the air, and it makes your car a little bit harder to handle. And I'm not sure if that was the case there, though. It looks like Darkster just got a little bit too far inside, caught the grass. Great save by Darkster. But now he's going to have to try to get that momentum back. And he's got the leaders coming behind him as they got TMS Amaze, the first car a lap down, and they're hot charging right now. Behind them is Rewar 477, still in front of RZX Ultra right now, 14th and 15th. These guys have been hanging out together for quite some time. They got Riddle U behind them as Riddle U running the 16th spot all alone. And then the last car on the track right now, it's Fan, once again, just hoping for the caution to try to get a little bit of an opportunity to try to get a couple of those laps back, but then it's RZX Nix who is the first car out of this race. As we hop back on to the race lead, it's ESV Bobberts and RZX USA MVP, followed by TMS Amaze, the lap down car in 12th, and they're looking to make a late charge here on SFM Darkster, who's currently staying on the lead lap, the first car on the lead lap. We are 76 laps down in this one. Remember, everyone, we had 2 pace laps to start the race, so it does say 78 of 202, but right now 76 laps have been completed. And that was FSM Darkster that's gone around in 3 and 4. It looks like he saved the car. Good job by SFM Darkster for saving it and not losing more than what he got right there. But you know, he just recently hit that grass a few laps ago, and I believe he just got a little bit too much there again. Good save by SFM Darkster to keep himself without losing a lot of prime spots there. Now, this is going to get interesting. We know Dino Prime was doing a really good job at the front of the pack earlier in this race. He's currently the first car lap down in that 9th spot. He's going to need a little bit of help by the leaders to not get too aggressive on him. But I know Dino Prime is going to do everything he can. He's one of the fastest cars on the track right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if he gives away or not here, because he needs to be on the lead lap. A lot of these cars are going to be able to get their lap back. I know that right now, Riddle U and Fan, they're a couple laps down. So if the caution does come out, they might not be able to get both of those laps back. But it's not dead in the water over for these drivers if the caution comes out, especially the cars that are lapped down. But if you're 2 or 3 laps down, it's going to be really tough. Dino Prime in his mirrors, those leaders are starting to really get bigger and bigger. And for those guys at the front, that tail is starting to be bigger and bigger, and we'll see how Bobberts and MVP manage this situation with Dino Prime in front of them. Now, here's the thing, Dino Prime, he's going to be battling for more than his laps. lap. He's going to be battling with TMS Amaze, who's still behind Bobberts and MVP. We see some pit stops as Rewarren Ultra are down pit road, which means we're going to probably see the leaders here pit here soon. And it looks like Dino Prime's going to give way and let them on by. TMS Amaze went down in the pit road, so Amaze currently in the pits as we speak. So Dino Prime possibly taking advantage of this draft, but he lost quite a bit in turn 1. I don't know if he gave that away or he just went too far up the track. And Bobberts and MVP coming down pit road. Dino Prime going to come with them. As you see some of the lap cars getting their laps back. Looks like I think that was JJ coming out of the pits. We didn't get a name tag on it. So there's Bobberts getting some tires, getting some fuel as the cars are starting to go through their cycle. We sit on them because there's no real other battles on the track right now, and this is the current battle for the race lead. Now we're going to see if TMS Amaze gained any ground. He just pitted right before the Dino Prime did, and we're going to see if he whips it around. So let's actually hop on with Amazed here because he's probably coming into turn 1 now, and there he is right there. And I don't know if he's got a run on Dino, but let's see. He might get to him. And there's Amazed right on him. Yeah, good job by Amazed. He goes to the inside of Dino Prime and will take over the 11th spot to be the first car a lap down. So TMS Amazed gets by Dino Prime. 6th spot, JJ Reds. And that was JJ Reds. I do believe that we saw exiting pit road. He's still by himself, but he's got somebody coming a little bit bigger in his mirrors, a Frazier, representing HYR esports team. So JJ is going to do everything he can to stay in front of Frazier. And, you know, Frazier was really good at qualifying, had a really good Fast 9 last night. Had a really good run early on, got involved in an accident. It happens. But he's been progressing pretty well. It's just he degressed when he got into it with Cameron and Amoeba. Not sure if he created that or they got into him. You know, a little bit of a, tango there. But he's been doing a really good job keeping himself inside the top 10. And, there's still a lot of story to be told. Bo Gray, I got to say, big kudos to Bo Gray, doing a really good job out there right now. Nothing he could do earlier on, a couple of pit stops ago. Bobberts and MVP have been working so well. He had a pit before they could. They've been in the draft a lot longer than he did. So it looks like that it saved them about a lap more on fuel. But, he's doing a great job. He's currently running that 3rd spot. He's in the draft of Riddle U right now. Not sure if they're going to, I don't know if they're in the same comms together, maybe work with each other, but Bo Gray currently behind him. Let's see what happens here. Riddle U's pretty respectful. I don't know if he's going to give way or not. It looks like he's just going to stay in front. And as long as you have pace with the guy behind you, especially if you're a lap down car, you have that right. But I think they're working together in the draft, which makes sense. I mean, you gotta have some speed right now. And how about these two guys? 8th and 9th, 1st and 2nd in qualifying in the Fast 9. Both of these drivers were fastest in each's qualifying group, and they both smacked the wall off of 3. Oh, and Popping goes around at 3 and 4. He saves the car. I don't know if that was Culture just getting to the back of him, but Popping smacked the outside of 3. And it looked like Culture tried to slow down to let him back in line, and I just think he got arrow washed there and just lost the back end of the car. Culture was able to avoid any more issues of that incident, but Popping, good save by Popping. We're seeing a lot of good saves here tonight, and that wouldn't be a caution, and MVP has retaken the lead, ladies and gentlemen, over ESV Bobberts, but that would not be a caution. Due to it just seemed like it was self-inflicted off of 3 and then just kind of got carried by the airway there. And if those drivers both believe that they had created that accident together, they could have called that. But good job by both of them for not doing that. It definitely was a good save by Amaze to keep it straight. So big kudos to the drivers back there. As we're back up to the front here, USA MVP currently leading in front of ESV Bobberts. As we look back on Bobberts here from MVP's rear camera, get an idea for a lap here and see how it looks from MVP's point of view. Up for, I'd say, at least 50 laps. And you can see behind them TMS Amaze and Dyno Prime working together in the draft. And that's what I said about Dyno. I mean, Dyno has been doing a really good job just working with anybody that's been with him. As we hop on the roof cam with MVP here, as they are trying to close the gap on Fraser and JJ Reds. Oh, and MVP hits the outside right there between 1 and 2. Doesn't look like it affected him a whole lot. Hearing that one car went around off of turn 2. That is TMS Amazed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And good dodging by, I believe that was Rewar and Ultra. Good job by them to avoid Amazed. Wow. And these two have been duking it out for a while. And Ultra and Rewar, they've been duking it out, but they've been staying out of trouble with one another. Man, these two are lighting up some smoke. That was definitely a tough break for TMS Amaze, but a great opportunity for Dyno Prime. And SFM Darkster was with Prime. Oh, that's right. He had that issue in turn 4. He's got Riddle U and Bo Gray behind him. Now, those two drivers, neither one of them are a threat to his position. Riddle U's another lap down and about 5 positions further back, and Bo Gray is on the lead lap, currently running 3rd. So Darkster's got a decision to make here. Darkster can either let these two lads by, because he's not going to lose a spot, or he can try to get involved in the draft with them and try to make some, hayway here and see if he can gain to the front. We got another car around in turn 2. That's Fan once again down on the apron of 1 and 2. It's going to slowly have to pick up some speed here. Fan not having a good day on track, but he's in the 500, and that's all you can ask. As what happened to... Oh, Darkster's up here. I was like, where'd we go? So Darkster in front of these. Well, no, looks like Bo Gray made a mistake. Possibly smacked the outside wall off of 3 or 4 and probably lost a lot of ground. It's Riddle U right there, 16th. Now, if Darkster's got the pace on Riddle U and Riddle U can't stay in his draft, he's going to have a hard time getting around Darkster, who I would say has been very consistent for the most part of this race. So a lot of work to do, but no position battling right now for these two drivers. And you see, it looks like Darkster got a little loose off of 4 there. The back end possibly kicking out right there. Riddle U just right on the bumper. As we hop back to the race lead. Bobberts staying behind MVP, and we heard the radio that Bobberts was going to stay behind MVP for the rest of this run, so it looks like they're going to work together. Now, these two drivers are not in the same party, talking to one another. Oh, MVP smacks the outside wall. And Bobberts was letting them know that he wanted to sit behind MVP for a while, so Bo Gray, he can get a break from these guys in front of him. Have a chance to battle for the race lead again. Now MVP, not MVP, LMP Amoeba, King Cameron and him are slowly but surely closing that gap, but it's not been fast. It's been a very slow and painful process. As you see, their lap time's about a 10th difference right there between Bo Gray and LMP Amoeba. Looks like we got cars down in pit road. That's JDMX Culture making his first stop of the, well, I wouldn't say the first stop of the day, or that's not Culture. That's Fraser FGR in pit road. I do apologize. So this race has been pretty wild for the most part. First 100 laps here almost have been a lot of duking it out. But the drivers are starting to settle in, starting to get into that rhythm we talked about. I mean, they've been in rhythm, I should say. You know, we talk about rhythm and how important it is in a race. These first 100 or so laps have been good. Lap 97 right here. I say 100 or so, but I know what the lap count is. And if you're tuning in just now, this is the 4th Annual MEA Indy 500 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm SSR Mayhem. You're being tuned in at the halfway point of the race, as RZX USA MVP is the race leader over ESV Bobberts. And Bobberts currently running in that second spot. Now, we've seen a handful of different leaders today. Popping, Culture, Bobberts, MVP, Bo Gray. I'm sure I'm missing a couple people, maybe Dino Prime. And if I'm missing somebody else, you know, I do apologize, but there's so much action in that first 30, 40 laps of this race, a lot of hard battling. It's kind of hard to keep up with these guys a little bit, but they've been doing a great job. And if you're an SFM fan, Darkster currently making his first appearance here in the MEA Indy 500. Currently running in the 10th spot, a lap down in this one. But he's not alone on the lap down charts. Bo Gray was able to get by him, and so was Riddle U. I don't know if Gray made a mistake, but there goes Gray. I should say Darkster made a mistake, but Gray goes down in the pit road. Now, Gray's been a lap earlier than MVP and Bobberts have been throughout their these last probably 50 laps, 50, 60 laps, 3 or 4 stops. And I would assume they're going in this time. I do apologize, I'm going to put this up there. And they're going another lap, so they've been doing some good job in the draft, and Bo Gray just hasn't had any help out there with him. The two fastest cars from qualifying were with one another, JDMX Culture and RZM Popping. And Culture had that really early accident in the race, which set him back to about, I think it was 16th, but he might have been 18th. He's rebounded really, really well. Popping, Dino Prime also got together. And, those two guys got together, made some mistakes. Dino Prime had another issue. Fraser FGR, I think actually Fraser might have led some of this race too today, but he had some issues. We see MVP and Bobberts coming down pit road. See 2 other drivers coming out of the pits, JJ being one of them right there. See Dino Prime back there in the 10th spot. He's in pit road right now as well. So pit cycles happening again here in the MEA Indy 500, and they've been really fun to watch. The green flag pit stops have been a lot of fun to watch today. It's one of those things you don't get to see very often, at least in a caution-filled race. I hear that one driver is not in a party. I believe that's Dino Prime. I just got word of. So one of the drivers is not in the race party right now. They're trying to get him in during the pit cycle, so somebody's going to try to send that invite. So MVP still leading this one over ESV Bobberts. We talked earlier about how this race has kind of eluded Bobberts. I believe it was last year. He was battling for the race win, got involved in a very late accident, which took him out of contention. The years prior, he's had some ups and downs, just wasn't able to get the deal done. We've also seen his team leader, team boss, ESV Scottson, compete for the first two, I do believe. And he's had 2 P3 finishes. And MVP has an issue. Not sure what it is. So they're going to stay green, as that was one car, and I'm not sure what had happened to MVP. I think his controller might have disconnected, or his wheel. So MVP with I believe a wheel disconnect. He's lost a tremendous amount of positions. That is not a caution. Bobberts did not get involved in an accident. And that gives Bobberts the race lead. So MVP with a mechanical issue by himself that's really set him back. And that hurts a lot. And Fraser, FGR, and JJ Rez, they've taken the opportunity as Fraser getting by JJ Reds. And JJ, he's been doing a really good job, but Fraser has been a faster car on track, and right now in the draft, JJ can hang with them. They can really gain some time on these guys in front. So it's Bobberts currently with a 10-second lead over Bo Gray, who's running second right now. Third is LMP followed by King Cameron. And these two right here, they are closing that gap on Bo Gray. And they are doing a fantastic job. I said earlier they were doing it very steadily, very slowly. Well, I'm going to change my mind on that because they have closed the gap quite a bit since then. And they got SFM Darkster currently a lap down behind them, trying to stay in the draft. Out of turn 4 here. I got quite a bit of cars back here. Looks like, yeah. So here's Fan. Here's PTG Chungus. They got Ultra behind him or them. Then you got Fraser and JJ Reds following them. And there goes Ultra to the inside, trying to take over that spot away from Chungus, and he will get the job done there for the moment. And Ultra just hanging strong, trying to not have any crazy accidents. 65% there for Chungus. Ultra now behind Fan. Let's take a look at Ultra's ticker. He's about just under 60% on that fuel. And caution's out with Fan and Ultra coming off of turn 2. And the caution will be out. So, Ultra and Fan getting into it off of turn 2. That's the first caution of the race after 108 laps of green flag laps here at Indianapolis. So a big break for a lot of drivers. And I'm getting word that they're going to get Dyno back into a race party off of turn 4. So I'll get that situated. So Ultra and Fan, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Fan's been wrecking quite a bit, and not saying that was the hope, but I just kind of saw that one coming. Unfortunately, that brings out the first caution of the race, but a big benefit for a lot of these drivers that are a lap down. And I mean, we got 10 cars on the lead lap. Darkster being the first car a lap down. So the lap cars will be getting their laps back, or a lap back. I know Fan is at least 2 or 3 laps down. Riddle, U, and Ultra might be 2 laps down, but pit road was open and we had no takers. How about Bo Gray and LMP Amoeba? So Amoeba came from the back up to the 3rd spot. Bo Gray doing a great job staying up there. So we're going green this time, and we're back racing at Indianapolis as Bobbers will lead the way. Let's hop further back, because that's usually where all the problems happen. Who are we running with? Oh, we're on Chungus. So we're back racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As Bobbers leads us back to the green. We'll hop on with LMP Amoeba here. He sits behind Bo Gray. $112 laps down, past the halfway point. King Cameron right there behind LMP Amoeba with RZX JJ Reds in 5th spot. Cameron looking for the move to the inside of Amoeba. Might be a little bit overly thought right there. He backs off. Frazier behind JJ Reds as we hop on with JJ. And good clean restart for the field, but the back half didn't really get going. Not sure if that was just a tough start, but Darkster leads that group. Bobberts now getting a little bit of company there by Bo Gray, as Bo Gray got shoved up there with LMP Amoeba and King Cameron behind him. They got a big run down the back straightaway going into 3 and 4. So Riddle U a lap down and Fan still 2 laps down. Not MVP. JJ to the inside of Cameron. A big run by LMP Amoeba to the inside of Bo Gray. Can he get it going into 3? I don't think he will. And Bo Gray just not letting off a bit. He knows what's at stake here. We got about 8 cars up here battling for the race lead right now. RZM Popping and JDMX Culture near the tail of the group. And these two guys, man, they've been working really hard to get back up to the front. Both of these drivers top of the charts in qualifying. Top 2 drivers in the Fast 9. Oh, and Popping gets wide at 1. I'm not sure what had happened there. Didn't lose too much ground. Hearing that Bobberts might have had a lag spike. It looks like somebody's slow in 3 and 4. That's JDMX Culture. He's going to get passed by a lot of cars right there. Might have hit the outside of 3. That slowed him down immensely, and he's going to have to pick up some speed here. So Culture with another mistake early off the restart. Not what he wanted to see right there, but they stay green. And Bobbert still remains your race leader. Now, JJ Reds has gone from 5th to 2nd after a possible lag spike by ESV Bobberts, which had affected Bo Gray. Bo Gray still running 3rd. Amoeba's dropped back to 5th. Frazier's in the 4th spot. I know I'm bouncing around positions like Andy. And Frazier down in pit road, off cycle. So Frazier off strategy with the pack right now. He's going to have, I don't know if he's at a disadvantage or not, but that is not what he wanted. And that's kind of what you think of when you're under caution and pit road opens up. Should you make the pit stop or not? Frazier probably seeing it for what it was, probably has been dissecting his lap counts, his fuel, and maybe he knows something we don't. Right now for the race lead. That's Bobberts, JJ Reds, Bo Gray, and LMP Amoeba. RZM Popping currently in the 5th spot. He's leading the field of 3 right here. And look at that, Dino Prime back in the mix. Cautions do that where it gets you back in the fight. And behind them, I see Darkster, MVP, and there's one other car here. I can't see them. That would be Ultra, 8th, 9th, and 10th. And, oh, it was Ultra. I think Ultra went into the pits. Take a look here. Yep, down pit road. We got a couple cars in pit road. That's Rewar 477. Man, King Cameron, man, he's doing a fantastic job today. I know we talked a lot about Bo Gray's success, but how about King Cameron, a rookie this year in MEA, has competed in a couple of series now. This one, the Indy 500, and look at that! Popping goes way wide on 3. Cameron to the inside, battling for position. Dino Prime laying off, and King Cameron taking over a spot from the pole sitter of RZM Popping. Cameron showing some strength now as he's settled in. So Reworn Ultra comes back onto the racetrack. And they're kind of in the mix of everything. Popping now, trying to take the spot back from Cameron. They're throwing passes at one another. Some haymakers, and here comes Cameron down in the pit road. LMP Amoeba as well. So the drivers says it's about time. And JJ Reds now the new race leader. So JJ Reds, new race leader, getting by Fan and TMS and Maze, currently 2 cars laps down, or a lap down. So JJ Reds giving up the race lead to RZM Popping, but he brings down Dino Prime, and who is that? Darkster. Darkster's in pit road as well. So there's a couple cars in pit road. RZM Popping staying out on the racetrack. Popping's going to have to come in this time. French-Canadian driver out front. Was the pole sitter, had some setbacks. So he's going to be coming down in the pit road this time. We'll hop back to JJ Reds here coming out of the pits now. See how he fares. I believe Bobberts is now coming around turns 1 and 2. And he's going to have to yield for the moment as Bo Gray brings some friends with him as well. But JJ Reds was able to get up to speed. And so RZM Popping now coming out of the pits. Bobbert's going to try to retake the lead back. Probably will, because he was quite a ways back. And Popping, kind of a sitting duck, knows he can't do much there. And JJ Reds currently leading the charge of this group. Frazier gets really wide off of 3. Frazier, not sure if he intentionally meant to do that or not, but it was scary for a moment. Amoeba was to the inside, thought better of it. We hop on board. And caution is being called. And that was FSM Darkster. Oh, and Dino Prime and TMS Amazed. The caution will be brought out. So that will hold the field. So the second caution of the day. Not sure if Darkster had some help there. I mean, we caught kind of the tail end of the mayhem. The Darkster will maintain 12th. So second caution of the day. Bobberts still remains your race leader. So we'll be opening pits up this time for the drivers, and the lap down cars will be able to get some laps back. There'll be Riddle U to get his lap back, and Fan will be 2 laps down. Look at all the fans in the stands. So pit road will be open. So drivers not going in pit road again. Oh, we do have a taker. And that's TMS Amaze come down the pit road. So Amaze, not sure if he's trying a little bit of a different strategy here. He's going to be starting around 15th. In single file, they'll be going green this time around. So the cars on screen, one's out of pit road, 2 are so Fan will be getting his lap back. And we're going green this time, so Fan back on the lead lap, but he's going to have quite a ways. He's going to be by himself for a while on this restart. But here we go, back to green. ESV Bomber's about to lead the way. We're going to hop on with Riddle U at the tail of this group and see what we can see from his eyes as we are back to green. Bobbers will lead us the way. Actually, we're going to hop on with Dark, so he's a little bit further. He's battling with MVP right there. Or, I'm sorry, Chungus, and Ultra made a mistake. Oh, man! Threading the needle! And Amaze goes around, and they're calling caution. Oh, yep, there's the second car. So they'll be stacking them back up, and we'll be going green next time around. So that would be the third caution of the day. Let's check on JJ Reds' statistics here. Looking good. 82 on the fuel. All right, so we're going back to Green Flag Racing at Indianapolis. We'll stay on board with JJ Reds. Now, Darkster was doing some work on that last restart, threading the needle, staying out of trouble. Got connected a little bit there with Ultra, but they were 3 wide in 2 and 3. Or, sorry, 1 and 2. Coming off of 2. TMS Amaze. I don't know how he bragged. I think he was avoiding the cars and just went around. Boberts will be leading us back to the restart zone. And we are green. Cars getting out of line in the back. And cars around. It's MVP. Not sure if it was by himself or not, but they're staying green. MVP with another mistake, and it looks like they're getting wiggly in the back. And that was Chungus and Fan. And MVP having another malfunction, which was part of the reason why he went around again. MVP having issues with the wheel right now. It's very concerning as we're nearing the late stages of this race. It was Fan and Chungus getting together, and Fan has been kind of involved in quite a bit of his own accidents today. Not sure how that one unfolded, but just not his day. They'll be going green this time around, next time around, actually. My apologies, because they just need to get the field back together. So making the field go around one more time, trying to calm the drivers down. I mean, they've been doing pretty good for the most part up to this point. So Amaze pitted about 5-6 laps ago after, this is our 4th caution? 5th caution? Drivers going around one more time. Pit road remains closed. They'll be going green this time around. How about JDMX Culture and RCM popping back in the top 5? It's been a long journey to get there. Frazier, top 10. Amoeba had issues and fell back to 11th after that last restart. MVP gonna have a heck of a rebound, but Bo Gray still in the top 3, has been kind of sitting there for the last few restarts. And if you didn't know, round 2 of the MEA GT Championship Series coming later tonight in about 3.5 hours time. 2.5 hours time, I do apologize. 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, 10:30 p.m. GMT. The GT Championship Series gets back into action. Doubleheader for MEA today. So we are going back to green, and Bobbert will lead the way as we try to get them back in that rhythm that they were in earlier for over 100 laps. It was really good to see. We're fade back, popping to the inside of Bo Gray on the restart. Great restart by popping to get by Bo Gray for the 3rd spot. We hop on with LMP and Amoeba. Amoeba struggling on the restart. He's dropped back to 12th now. Whoa! Dino Prime, he was way wide off of 2. Not sure if he connected with Darkster right there. Darkster lost a little bit of momentum as well. Keeps himself in the top 10. Ultra was able to get by for that 9th spot. We're on board with LMP and Amoeba. Amoeba to the inside of Ultra, trying to take over the 10th spot. I was told they're staying green, so I assume somebody. Maze is in pit road again. And the field's starting to settle in, which is always good to see. And Bobbert still remains the race leader. And popping with a big run off of 4. He's got Bo Gray with him. And he's bringing more than just that. He's got JDMX Culture. TMS Maze re-entering the racetrack. And, oh, Culture and JJ get into it, going into turn 1, but they both hang in tight. Good driving by both drivers there. JJ went from 2nd to 5th after the restart, hanging in good though, no problems there for him. Popping back into the 3rd spot. Amazed now, going a lap down. Oh, problems for RCM popping! And Amaze is around in turn 4. And caution will be called. So Amaze will bring out the caution. Bobbert remains the race leader. And Amaze was not up to speed and just didn't hold his line, and you know that created the caution there. So pit road will open this time. So we ran about 120 laps or so caution-free. We've seen about 5 cautions since then. Drivers just making, you know, I hate to say it, but boneheaded decisions on the track. TMS Maze a lap down will get his lap back, about half the quarter of the field actually going in the pit road. Rewar, Ultra, Chungus, Amoeba. So they will be going green this time as the drivers get back to the rear of the field. And how about that for JJ? After a little bit of a hiccup there by Team SMAs, fluttered them around. And how about SFM Darkster, man? He's in the 6th spot, you know, just staying out of trouble, staying in the mix of things. You know, Darkster came in as a late entry and wasn't sure how he was going to fare with the field. He was in the back of the pack for quite a while. Not all the way in the back, but a little bit further from the mid-pack. But now he's up there, staying out of trouble with all the carnage and giving himself an opportunity to be here late in this race. But these restarts have been brutal for some of these drivers. So we'll see how they fare as we go back to green. And oh, Darkster didn't get the best restart, but it doesn't look like it was horrible, so he should be good to go. Culture having some issues on that restart, looks like. They get lined up. We'll hop on with Fan in the 12th spot here. I think that's, yeah, 12th spot. He's got Ultra behind him. Rewar in front. Those guys in front are getting antsy. 3 wide on the straight. Someone's going to have to give here. Looks like Riddle, you knew. MVP's moved up to 7. Oh, Dino Prime gets around by himself, and the green will stay out. Dino Prime had a really good car, but it's going to stay green. 2 or more cars have to bring out the caution. So Dino Prime's going to have to get himself going and hope, you know, for a little better luck. Your top 5 looks like this. Bobberts, JJ Reds, Popping, Culture, and Darkster with Riddle U right on the outside for 6th. JJ Reds fending off Popping. Popping's been on the hard charge. Oh, man! Popping gets really wide in 2. 2 by 2 by 2 here as they head into 3. Darkster's to the inside of Popping. JJ Reds. MVP to the outside of Riddle. Darkster takes over the 4th spot. Whoa! Whoa! Not sure what had happened there. So that collected a couple of people. So because of where they sat, both of those cars were able to end up in pit road. Bobberts retains the lead. Darkster in 2nd now. Wow, look at that. I thought we were on Darkster. We were on Bo Gray. Were we? We were on Popping. I'm a ding-dong. We were on Popping. Popping's the one that got turned. Tough break. Darkster's in 2nd. I'm sorry if I messed up the names there. Well, a couple of these cars look the same, just from like the angles. So, and you don't see the driver name above. And I thought I was sitting on Darkster, but I wasn't. So pits will open up this time. I mean, you see, we've seen a lot of comers and goers today. Riddle U now in 3rd. MVP now has moved up to 4th. JD Mexcor 5th. Cameron 6th. Bo Gray's moved back to 7th. Fans up to 8th. Frazier 9th. Ultra 10th. Amoeba 11th. Amaze 12th. Chungus 13th. 14th Rewar. Dino Prime 15th. 16th JJ Reds. And RZM Popping rounds out the current field, with RZX Next being the only driver out of this race. So pit road will open this time for the drivers. Now Bobberts, you know, he's in the decision-making deal here. We've seen a lot of drivers change their pit strategy up during the cautions here. It was about our 6th caution in this race today. And we were about 120 laps caution-free. 70 of those first 120, 130 were cautionless. So we know these drivers can race well with each other. He's just getting back into rhythm. Bobberts will go into the pits, however, and Fraser FGR will take over the race lead. That is Darkster as well. It's gone in. Riddle U, MVP, Cameron, Culture, Fan, Bo Gray, Ultra, and I believe Rewar has also gone in. I believe a couple of these drivers went back in the pits. Dynamo Prime's in there as well. The drivers that stayed out, which wasn't many, was Popping, JJ Reds, Chungus, Maze, Amoeba, and Fraser, who are your race leader. So we're going green this time. So Fraser FGR for the first time today, or well, first time for a restart, will lead us back to green. And here we go! Hop on with Bobberts in the 8th spot, because that's where he ended up. Darkster in front of him with Popping right there as well. So Popping, Darkster, and Bobberts. Now, JJ Reds and Popping kind of got the benefit off that caution because they were thrown in pit road under caution. So they got a little bit of the benefit of the deal there. And we're going to see how patient these guys up front are going to be. Whew. And we'll hop on with LMP Amoeba, currently running in the 2nd spot, the highest position he's been in all day, but it looks like he's going for the race lead now, and he gets to the inside of Fraser FGR. Into turn 1, new race leader! Yeah! And Amoeba will take over the race lead. Team SMA's 3rd now, behind Fraser FGR. And we've seen a lot of haymakers tonight. Fraser has been on the offensive end for most of it, and I think he's back on the offensive end now just as they head into 3. Meanwhile, behind them, we got like 2x2x2. Whoa! And it looks like they hit a wing. 3 wide going into turn 1. It's getting antsy out there. If you're in position on the inside, you probably feel a lot better than the guys on the outside. Real you now as well, following Darkster. RZX, JJ Reds, and Darkster gets a little bit loose off the corner from Riddle U and JJ Reds. Now to the outside, another 3 wide again, going down the back straightaway. As we hop on the car of SFM Darkster. Riddle U to the outside. Oh, man. Ultra having to lay off right there. Ultra smacking tires with King Cameron. Riddle U trying to make a run to the outside of Darkster now. Darkster's been in the dogfight right now and was on the good end, then was on the bad end. These guys are going back and forth out on the racetrack. And oh my goodness, King Cameron's going to try and make this go 3 wide. I would think better of it. As Riddle U able to make the outside work. 4 wide almost off the corner. All trying to let loose just a little bit there. And Darkster with a power move to the inside. And he'll take that spot away 3 wide now on the front straightaway. Riddle U to the outside, Karen to the middle. Ultra to the inside as they head into turn 1. Oh, buddy! And Ultra just would not give up. None of those drivers would give way. And somehow was able to avoid catastrophic problems. So let's move to the front of the pack now. It's going to be TMS Maze currently running the 3rd spot. As Fraser still trailing LMP Amoeba. RZX JJ Reds, however, right behind USA MVP and PPG Chungus along those lines behind him. He also has Popping and Bobberts behind Chungus of the 5-car group right here. We are 52 laps left in this one here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The 4th annual MEA Indy 500 coming down to the line. Chungus to the inside of JJ Reds, battling for the 5th spot. On turn 4, JJ tried to close the door right there. JJ in MVP's draft now. Chungus with nobody to push. Robert's able to get by Pop, or sorry, he was already by Popping, but he got by Chungus here. And he's giving JJ the push he needed going into turn 1. Chungus maintains the inside line. Roberts to the outside. Chungus falls up the racetrack, and they hang on. Popping, trying to make something happen here as these two slow down in front of him, but not able to make the move as they close the gap. Chungus still to the inside of Boberts. Boberts to the outside. Popping trying to make Boberts move a little bit further forward. Popping now with a big run down the front stretch as Boberts able to clear Chungus. Now can Popping get the draft to get by Chungus as well. Boberts is going to take away that draft from Popping. Popping stuck to the outside. Chungus still side by side with one another. And Chungus hanging on strong. Boberts now catching up to JJ and USA MVP. But look at the outside move by Popping here. Popping hanging strong, hanging tight. And Popping just showing how tough he is on the racetrack right now. Maintaining his line, staying strong. And here they come down the stretch, and he's going to close the door on Chungus. Very patient, but very well done by RZM Popping right there. And JJ Reds now looking to the inside of RZX USA MVP. Doesn't get the job done there. Meanwhile, battle for the race lead is Frazier now to the inside of LMP Amoeba. LMP Amoeba holding on to the outside line. Frazier now trying to make the pass completed. He'll get the job done, and he'll take over the race lead. TMS amazed. Trying to make something happen here. He's currently running 3rd. It looks like Frazier got into the grass just a little bit. Down to 18% on the fuel tanks here. Pit stops to be happening here soon. So we look through the field for the moment. Bo Gray. I got to check on him. Let's see what's going on with Bo Gray, as he's been a strong car all race long. Might have made a pit stop prior. I don't think so. I think he got mixed with some bad apples. Amoeba retakes the race lead from Frazier now. Frazier falls back to the 2nd spot. And the back 3 have now caught up to the front 3. We got a 6-car battle for the race lead. MVP cutting the nose from TMS Amaze. The Maze falls back to the 4th now. And not too far behind these guys is PTG Chungus and RZM Popping. And JJ Red gets to the inside. Oh! And Frazier smacks the outside roll. In a tough battle, Frazier. Oh! Whoa! And that's SFM Darks are getting into. Frazier probably had nowhere to go. Caution has come out. So their pit road still remains closed, but a great run there by the drivers. Tough break for Frazier. I mean, this is the time of the race that you're going to start seeing stuff like that happen, and they were closing the gap, and Frazier just kind of got stuck out to dry there and just smacked the wall, but then Darkser had nowhere to go and just got right into a Frazier. So tough break for those two drivers, but man, are they making this race exciting. About this, I believe this is the 7th caution of the day, and all 7 after lap about 130. As we are note-taking that this race has not been caution best. It's been a very good race. LMP Amoeba, the race leader. Pit road will be open this time for the drivers. So let's see who takes the pit entry. I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to take it. And if not, we're going to see a hopeful strategy for a long green flag run. So, Amoeba, MVP, JJ Red stay out. First three cars that stayed out. Looks like Culture and Riddle U as well stayed out. A lot of cars have stayed out on the track. Looks like only a few takers. Bobbert's amazed, Chungus and popping for the drivers that have entered the pits. Well, 156 laps down. Plenty to go. But the gap to an Indy 500 title is starting to close for all these drivers. We've seen about several different leaders in this race. Heading back to the green is LMP Amoeba. And we are back green! Amoeba. Sounded like a machine coming off the edge there. And we got guys going 3 wide already in the back. Let's hop on with Fan. Fan and Cameron there, nudge off of 2. Wow, Amoeba loses the race lead. He was way high. That gives MVP the lead. And Rewar there. Looks like Ultra's getting a little squiggly there. Let's hop on with Rewar. Oh my gosh. A lot's happening here. As Rewar to the outside. Culture. And Dino goes way up the track in 2. Culture and JJ Reds now with LMP Amoeba to the inside. Riddle U falling back to JJ, and Culture trying to force the 3 wide. And look at this. Good move by Rewar, and that forced Culture up the track. Not sure if that was a little bit of a... Not sure what that was, but that was very interesting. They didn't really touch. And Ultra's around. And being told that the green's staying out, Rewar. Oh, and Culture gets in the back of Rewar. Oh, man, not what you want to see. That's not what you wanted to see. And Culture's forcing Rewar down the track, not happy with him. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of beef on the racetrack with Rewar and Culture's had enough. And Culture's going to blow by from the outside. Not sure if that was, letting each other know, like, hey, don't do that. Fraser in pit road. But he was not oh, he's waving on the front straightaway. Culture showing his displeasure to Rewar. Battle for the race lead. It's RZX USA MVP and Riddle U. Riddle U for the first time today looking for the fight for the lead. Riddle U. Big push going into 3. pit road. MVP goes. That gives up the race lead to Fan. Okay, Fan for the first time. They brought a lot of cars with him. And Fan, now the new race leader, battling with King Cameron, trying to stay out a little bit longer than these other guys. Fan leading the charge. King Cameron in second. Amaze, Bobertson popping, third, fourth, and fifth. And they got more fuel in the car, so how long will Fan stay out? He's gonna, looked like he was gonna go in pit road. He decided not to. Now those drivers that pitted, it looked like King Cameron went in the pits. But those cars that pitted under caution, I think they're risking it for the biscuit right now and hoping that they can try to make this thing under one more stop possibly. And it's gonna be close. It's gonna be really, really tight. Amazed with a big run off of 2, gets a big push to the outside. He's got Boberts letting him get by Fan, and a big pass by Amazed to the outside. Good job by TMS Amazed. Boberts now stuck to the outside, popping to the inside. Meanwhile, TMS Amazed starting to pull from Fan. And popping, able to get by Boberts there. Boberts having a little bit of a difficulty off the edge. And Amazed out front for the first time today. Fan's finally looking like he tuned in to his inner Indy car here and is not slipping up as much as he was earlier in this race. He had a lot of problems throughout the first 100 laps. He was down 3 laps, now getting his laps back due to cautions. And I think he's going to pit this time. He's going to go one more time. He's going to stay out there one more time. If I'm popping and I'm Boberts, I'm waiting for him to pit. I'm not going to take an unnecessary risk here. Fan getting a run on Amazed. Rewar and Culture, they're still going at it back there. Looks like they just came out of the pits. Oh, popping, holds Fan to the outside. Whoa! And Fan, I'm not sure what Fan got there. And Fan will go down pit road. And Amaze will stay out on the track for the race lead. He's got plenty of fuel in the car, but he's going to have to make one more stop, at least. Rework to the inside. Lead lap cars coming on the track. And Amaze was able to clear Rewar. Let's check the fuel on these guys. They're all pretty close on the fuel strategy here. I think Boberts has the worst of it. TMS Amaze, still your race leader. Let's open up the track a little bit here. So, the top 3 cars in lap traffic. PTG Chungus by himself in 4th. There's definitely one stop left to go, and I think this is what I was hearing in comms was, could we make it to the end, risking it under caution if it was to stay green. And Frazier's around in the front straightaway. I was told it was one car, so they're staying green. Frazier with another incident in the 500. Tough break for Frazier. He's just had ups and downs all race long. And popping now going for the race lead. Gets to the inside of Amaze. No problem. And he'll take over the race lead. So RZM popping, the pole sitter back to the front. It's been a while, but he's been trying super hard throughout this race. Oh, popping hits the outside of 1 and 2. Amaze and Bobbers to the inside, first and second. Bobberts now behind Amaze for the race lead. Popping back to the inside of Fan. Let's hop on with popping. So Amaze still the race leader. Bobberts in second. Popping has cleared the lap cars for third now as they go 1, 2, 3 off of 2. 19 laps to go here at Indianapolis. And it's getting tight now. Bobbert's pushing. These guys make it on one more stop. I mean, that's the question. The fuel coming down to the brim. Darkster off pace. Oh my gosh, Amaze smacks the outside wall. Bobberts to the race lead. Amaze making mistakes. And Bobberts and popping going to the inside of Darkster now. Darkster's done a really good job today. Looks like he just got mixed, situation there. It slowed him down. 12 cars on the lead lap. Darkster, the first car a lap down right now. 25 laps to go here at Indy. Is out. Well, whatever it is, we're in it, and we're seeing it all. So the caution has come out for the 8th time today. So pit road currently is closed. Looks like we've lost another driver. And JDMX Culture's out of the race. Another lag out. Super unfortunate. That's a big, big bummer for them. So pit road had opened up for the drivers. Lap down cars will get their lap pack. And TMS Amazed will stay as the race leader. He made a pit stop not long ago. So the green will not get called this time. They're going to hold off, go around one more time. So pit road remains open. The drivers will go around one more time. All right, so we're gonna go green next time around. Couple more cars in pit roads. It's Rewar and Darkser with Ultra coming around. So the restart looks like Amazed, MVP, Riddle U, JJ Reds, and Dino Prime. So green this time, one of the drivers is trying to catch up to the field. That is RZX Ultra. Ultra must have been trying to make sure he had enough gas till the end of this thing. Risk it for the biscuit, baby. We're back racing here at Indianapolis. 22 laps to go. And we'll fall back to mid-pack here. We're hopping on with King Cameron. Going to work right now. That's see, that's what I'm saying. Look at the back end of Bo Gray and Darkser. Or no, that's Chungus. They all got the same looking cars. Oh, looks like we got a car around. That was somebody. Oh, that was Chungus. PTG Chungus has gone around. Tough break for Chungus. And Bobberts currently running fourth. He's under fire, and Popping will take over fifth. Actually, he lost fourth and fifth. Not sure how wide he got in there. And it looks like Amaze still maintains the race lead. He's under fire right now. Whoa! And Amaze in the back of getting wood. Caution's out. Bobbers is around the front straight, and more cars are around. Wow. So the caution will come out for the 9th time today. RZM Popping, your new race leader, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild one. So pit road will be open this time. And, you know, that was a wild moment there. RZM Popping, LMP Fan, currently your top 3 with Team SMAs. Rewar as your 4th and 5th top 5. Behind them is SFM Darkster, which I see people now going in pit road, so let's take a minute. Darkster now goes to 5th. 6th will be Ultra, 7th Bobbers, 8th JJ Reds, 9th Riddle U, and 10th King Cameron. The drivers that have gone into pit road is Fan, Chungus, MVP, Frazier, and Dino Prime. All those drivers are securing their ticket to the end of this race. They say if you pitted around lap 180, you should be able to make it to the end. I believe these cars can go 22 to 24, maybe 25 laps. I haven't been keeping track of that. And again, if you're just tuning in, late stages of the Indy 500. In a couple of hours from now, 2 hours exactly, is the round 2 of the MEA GT Championship Series. We'll be here on the Twitch network of MEA Online Racing. Round 2 of the MEA GT Championship Series. But here we are with the final moments of the Indianapolis 500 hosted by MEA. 4th annual event, 4th different champion because there's no previous winners here today, maybe night, depending where you are watching on. We're going back to green this time as RZM Popping will let us go. So Riddle U had jumped the start, and Riddle U's gonna have to concede 2 spots. So Riddle U and we had a little bit of a moment there. I don't know who that was. I really don't. But I'm being told the caution is out. Oh, I see it. It's in 3 and 4. Riddle U's involved. That might have been him trying to give up 2 spots. Well, Dino Prime's probably feeling good. 10th caution of the day. So we're getting to the closing stages of this race, and with that, reminder to everyone watching, lap 196 is the final lap that caution can be called. And lap 197, the beginning of that lap, is caution-free the rest of the way. Pit road will open up for the drivers this time for any late bloomers. So, I would say if you didn't pit up to this point, you probably aren't going to make it. But I believe all the cars have done that. Now it comes down to the fight of the fittest here. Survival of the fittest, I should say. Y'all are going to make fun of me later. But here we go, your top 5. RZM Popping, Amoeba, Amaze, Ultra, and Darkster. Here we go. Back to green. We're going to stay on Popping for the moment. Oh. And that's definitely a caution. Oh, yep, that's definitely a caution. Fraser, Rewar. Yep. That, it's the pay window, 11th caution of the day. We went 130 laps cautionless. But we've had a couple of decent runs, but these guys are getting antsy. Some of the drivers on track, I'm hearing, are upset that they feel that some of the drivers at the front are forcefully brake checking the field. I don't know how honest that is. As you guys know, when you're under pace speeds, you tend to slinky up, and that tends to be an issue at the mid pack as we hop on with Bo Gray, who was so sensational through the first part of this race. We're back to green. And Riddle, you got a great jump on the start, going to 1 and 2. And they are 3 wide. Bobbers got shoved up the track by Fan, and Dino Prime got into Bobbers there. Riddle U checks up in the MEA. Oh my gosh. They're staying green. Tough break for Bobbertson Dino. We'll hop up to the race leaders here. They are getting super antsy back there. Let's hop on with Doxer. Yeah, I'm hearing caution is out. Not sure who it was. I can only guess. I guess Amazing Riddle U would be my only guesses there. But RZM Poppy, you're race leader. So they'll be going green again this time. So going green this time. Let's hop on with our man King Cameron here, currently running 10th. And they're back to green. And these guys are fighting so hard at the front right now. And I'm getting, yep, caution's out. That'll probably be the final caution of the race. We got word that someone was upset with King Cameron, but we were sitting on him. I don't know how that could have been. So that was the final caution. I believe that was the 12th caution of the race. This race is green till the end. So pit road will open up next time around, which will make them go green on lap 197. So here we go. As they get ready, I don't know if anyone's going to take the pit, but that's kind of what happens when you get to near the end of the caution system. We've seen a lot of comers and goers today. I will say that. Your pole sitter still up front. We're near the ending stages of the MEA Indy 500 for the 4th time annually. So we'll see who goes in pit road. So 2 cars, looks like they took the pit. That is Rewar and PTG Chungus. We've lost 2 cars in this race. One of the fastest in qualifying, JDMX Culture, who had lagged out. And same with RZX Nix, who was the 3rd fastest car in qualifying. So 2 and 3 on the charts out of this race due to a disconnect. But the man that took the pole is at the front right now. And it's going to be tough to get around Popping. So here goes the final restart of the race, ladies and gentlemen. It's popping. JJ Reds, Ultra, Darkster, Amoeba, and the rest of the pack looking to go to war. Who's going to come home an Indy 500 champion here tonight? Final restart of the race. Here we go. It's going to get dicey. It's going to get spicy. Here we are. RZM Popping is going to lead us back to green. The final handful of laps here in the MEA Indy 500. And one driver did not have the start they wanted to have. That was LNP Amoeba. He was at the front. Not sure what happened to Amoeba. But JJ Reds on the fight. JJ Reds to the inside. JJ Reds to the race lead. Side by side with RZM Popping. Your Daytona 500 champion from 2022 to the front. And he's looking to go get that first elusive Indy 500 title. But he's got friends behind him. It's Popping back on the attack. Ultra crosses over to the inside. It's Darkster in the wall of the one! Darkster loses the car at one! Not sure what happened there. We didn't get the whole fight scene there. So Darkster now drops back to 15th. Darkster gonna pick up pace now. Popping's falling back to 5th. JJ Red still at the front, still fighting strong. He's got Ultra in the second spot. He's still got other friends there with him. 4 laps to go as we enter lap 197. 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go. But who is this? That's MVP now. Let's see if anybody else has lost themselves along the way. Darkster got back up to speed. Tough break for Darkster. He fought so well all race to be up front. MVP playing defense. Bo Gray putting the pressure on MVP now. Popping, trying to make something happen. It doesn't look like JJ Red's got a good run off of 4. And JJ caught to the inside. And a power move. Oh no! JJ Red's around a turn 1. Bo Gray to the race lead. Popping down to the inside. And Hillary take the lead. It's VSV Bombers following with Dino Prime with them. And MVP, I'm not sure if he got too close to the back end of JJ Reds off of turn 1, but it put him around at 1 and 2. MVP dropped back to 5th, and Van's now in the wall as well. In a story we've seen before, RZM and ESV battling here at MEA for race wins. But this isn't just a regular season race. This is the Indy 500. Popping and Bobberts. Bobberts trying to get that first time 500 win. Dino Prime and Bo Gray behind them as well. 4-car battle for the race lead. Don't roll out RZX USA MVP. He's right in the mix as well. 5 cars up at the front. 1 lap to go. Bobberts looks to the inside. Bobberts makes a mistake. White flag in the air, last lap. Popping, trying to not only start on the pole today, but go for the win. Can anyone knock him off? Popping, only 3 turns to go. Dino Prime and Bo Gray, they're trying to find something here. MVP was looking to the outside. They just don't got the run. 2 turns to go. It's Popping in 3 now. He's got 1 turn left. Bobbers looks to the inside. Dino and Bobbers touch going into 4th. And I think Dino has taken out Bobbers. No, they get loose. Bobbers is around off of 4. It's going to be RZM. Gonna get the win. Popping steals the win. It takes the show away. RZM Popping winning his first ever MEA Indy 500. First time champion. First time champion for RZM Popping. We'll wait a moment to find out the results if they are correct. But let's take a look at the previous results. It's popping Dino Prime in MVP, top 3. I think it's right. So we're going to get the top 3 drivers in the broadcast booth. I was told that the final results are correct. So we will make sure. Oops, I hit the wrong button. That's pretty normal for Mayhem these days. Let's make sure that the drivers can audio up. They should be able to. We're still waiting for Dino Prime, who finished 2nd in this race. We do have RZM popping in the wings already, so we are waiting on Dino Prime. And we'll get the interview. And there's Dino Prime there. And we got the top 3 drivers here now. Once again, here's your results of the final results. Tough break for a handful of drivers. And we're going to begin with the bottom 2 guys, MVP and Dino Prime. You two make sure that you check off the audio box in your party for me, please. And, you know, I got to start with RZX MVP. MVP, you had a up and down race. You know what, real quick, Dino, if you, and I know everyone's going to hear this, but Dino, if you go into the MEA Command Center through your phone, you can join the Command Center chat and you can talk through your phone and do your interview there. We can do it there if you want. But anyways, MVP, we're back to MVP, finishing 3rd overall in the MEA Indy 500, and MVP, you were up and down in the race as much as many others were throughout that race today. And you know, take us through those moments and having a chance there at the end. I know that you got into it with JJ Reds at the end going into turn 1. Not what you wanted to see happen. It sets you back to 5th, and it seemed like you just didn't have enough time to recover.
Yeah, and I had like quite a few people a little upset. I trying to show them my point of view, because you looked at my point of view, half the problems people have with me, I never touched them. Like, my game must have glitched and I must have just pile drive them, because I have a fan upset at me, I have a Darkster. JJ didn't speak to me after that incident, and I was trying to tell him I did not mean to do anything or touch him. But again, what I was telling most people in the party, I'm kind of just upset because other than my problems where my pedals wanted to act like I hit the brakes, they had probably the dominant car today, even though at the end I just didn't get the result.
And now you and Bobbers were working together early on in the race. About the halfway point, you guys seem to be really working well together. Did you feel like you needed a friend out there today for anybody to really find some gains throughout this race? And how you go from that to the cautions that you had to go through. What were the biggest changes, and how were you able to adjust?
I mean, gameplay was just to make sure you were good on fuel. The moment cautions started rolling in, people started working a little different strategy. And then I thought our strategy was fine until I got involved in that wreck with like 20 to go because uh, me and most of the other guys that were on the same strategy were already planning on pitting that lap. And then Amaze just got super close to me and I just got super loose. But I fought back again, not how I wanted to end this race because now I'm over here trying to explain to people I didn't do half the stuff they're kind of pissed at me for.
Well, you obviously know, it was a long race. Everybody put a lot of heart into today's race, and things happen and connection issues happen. That's something that we've seen over the course of time, and I feel like watching the race from our point of view, we got to see some of that where it didn't look like someone got hit. It just seemed like something, just like a ghost tap people. I'm sure, everyone just needs to kind of have a cool, calm, collected head at the end of this race, but it's hard to do at some times. But obviously, third overall, not where you want to win, be at in a non-points race like this, but third overall, I believe it's your first 500 with MEA. Take us through that, and I know Dino Prime is gonna write for us his thoughts on today's race, and then I'll read Dino's those thoughts. And Dino, give us just the overall perspective of your race and how does it feel to finish second overall. But yeah, MVP, give us your thoughts and just how that race played out and how you feel about third overall.
Well, first half, what me and Barbers were doing, we were just not forcing anything. That's why me and him really were working well together. Like we knew 500 miles, that's going to be a long race. So we were patient. And then obviously that first caution came out because of me. I'm pretty sure it was because of my pedals. But, it was just sometimes you had to be patient, but obviously when you're down to 50, 20 to go, that's always out the window. But for it to be my first 500, top three looks really good on paper, but I don't know. For how well I was driving until the issues I was running into, I felt like it could have been a win today.
Well, obviously a little bit of a disappointment, but third overall, good result in the end of the day. Congratulations on a hard-fought race. You definitely came from up and back and all around the edges, but congratulations on a top three result here today in the Indy 500.
Thank you very much.
That was RZX MVP, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to move over to the party chat messages. Dino possibly still typing for us, so he felt that he did not deserve to be up front near the end of the race. He felt very inconsistent after that halfway point and was just bad on his restarts. He also wanted to give a deep apology to Boberts due to that turn 4 accident at the end of the race. He said that the game registered him spinning despite there was being no contact. So another situation into today's race where one of the drivers felt that there was no contact to be seen, but ultimately had happened. So Dino, I know you might still be typing. We'll give you another handful of seconds here to finish on anything that you might be putting in so I can read it for everybody. But Dino Prime, ladies and gentlemen, tough race for him all race long, up front battling, and then the inconsistencies were starting to show for him throughout middle to the end of that race. Fought really hard to get back up to the front. Cautions, just like for many, had helped get back onto the lead lap and have opportunities there late. But we're just waiting to see if Dino has anything more to say for us. And then we're going to get to our race winner, Varzian Popping, who was I think he's the first time pole sitter in MEA Indy 500 to get the pole, win, and obviously it's our first Fast 9, get the Fast 9, and then obviously win the race. And Dino added he had fun today despite all the challenges, so he said he'll likely be returning to future MEA events. And Dino, we appreciate you being here today. Good fought, hard race for you. Obviously, not the way you'd like it to have been for you, but overall, great run for you today. I know you don't feel like you deserve to be up front, but P2, congratulations. Definitely earned, in my opinion. So congratulations, Dino, second overall. And then we're going to go to the man of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. He's got another event in about an hour and a half to compete in. But RZM popping your first MEA Indy 500 win title. Another one for the history books. As you might not know this, but RZM has been, they've been here a long time in MEA, and you put another championship under their banner. And how does it feel to pick up your Indy 500 win here today?
Oh, wait, can you repeat, please?
Oh, just telling you that. How does it feel to get that Indy 500 win today? And give us your thoughts on how you got there at the end of the race.
It's feeling nice. It was kind of hard. I died a lot of time. But yeah. Fuck.
Oh, PG. But you might not know this, but RZM has had won a championship every year since MEA opened up in 2018. What does it mean for you to pick up your first Indy 500 championship, but also put another title under RZM?
It's really cool. Hope we can get more, and yeah.
Well, obviously, popping. You got another race today. Hard-fought win for you. A tough break for you guys early in the race, but nothing matters more. You got the championship, the Indy 500. Congratulations on your race win here today, and we know that you'll be back later tonight for some GT racing, but congratulations on your first Indy 500 in MEA.
Thank you.
That was RZM popping, ladies and gentlemen. First overall, winning his first MEA Indy 500 title. Great day for racing. We've seen a lot of action throughout this one. Obviously, a lot of broken hearts as well. We know that there's been some frustrations through the field. I'd like to believe that a lot of the incidents that people are upset about were not just because someone wrecked them, but just connection issues, and that's been a problem for the last few years as the game has been not getting updates and slowly developed, and just a tough break. It's good to see guys coming in for the first time competing in the MEA Indy 500. Not only that, their first MEA event, but again, congratulations to RZM popping, your Indy 500 winner. Fourth different winner. We look forward to next year when we can bring it back for the fifth time, and hopefully it'll be as good as the first 130 laps like we had today. It was a good race overall. You got to have a little bit of everything, and when you get there near the end of the race, it does tend to get a little bit dicey, and we know that, and the drivers know that. It's not a points race. It's a race you got to win, and popping got the job done today. And rounding out the top five, congratulations to Bo Gray. It was such a great run for him. Riddle, you battling adversity from early on. He was about 2 laps down at one point. RZX Culture 6th, 7th Frazier, man, he fought hard to get back to that 7th spot. He fell so far behind, especially on that last caution, so some things didn't work out for many others. King Cameron 8th, 9th PTG Chungus. Fan finishing 10th after just one horrendous race, but he found the last quarter of that race to be a lot better for him. Then you have Rewarn 11th, JJ Reds with the heartbreak 12th place finish. LMP Amoeba 13th. Bobberts got caught there with Dino at the end at 14th. TMS Amazed, he's had one heck of a roller coaster ride at 15th. And it's a heartbreaker for SFM Darkster. Darkster sat mid-pack for a lot of the race, stayed out of trouble, was up there at the end from the sound of it. Obviously, MVP and Darkster currently working out what had happened on track. Darkster was finishing 14th, and then a couple of disconnects with JDMX Culture in 17th and RZX Nix, and those two guys, I should say 18th for Nix, but those two guys were 2 and 3 in qualifying in the Fast 9. and then just weren't able to show anything at the end. It's a tough break for those guys. But that's it for the MEA Indy 500 here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In about an hour and a half, tune us back in. We got round 2 of the MEA GT Championship Series at Nürburgring, and it's a weathered event, so a lot can happen there as drivers prepare. 2 separate lobbies of drivers getting ready to go to war tonight, and it's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm SSR Mayhem. Thank you for watching the 4th annual MEA Indy 500 as RZM Popping will take his first ever title in MEA, and he got it here at Indianapolis, the 500. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Well, in a couple hours, or an hour and a half. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.